Right now, I'm going to show you how to install your jumper wire for your video doorbell. So this is the Wyze Duo Cam video doorbell, and I've seen some confusion online about how to get constant power to it and that there was no wire included. So I think the problem was the online instructions refer back to an older model of Wyze that had a fused wire, but the new ones, they just come with this jumper wire and it doesn't have a fused wire, so I think people were missing that. So in your goodie bag here, of course you're gonna get all the hardwire here to install the doorbell. I'm just using the existing hardware, so I don't need any of this. But the wires here, you get 3 wires here. So these 2 wires have the spade connector. I've also heard them called fork connectors, and then just an open-ended wire. So these would actually connect to the back of your doorbell to wire it to the wires coming out of the front of your house. But this wire here has 2 spade connectors on it, and this is your jumper wire that you will actually use in the chime that will bypass the chime as part of the circuit, and it will give constant power to your doorbell. So my house was built 30 years ago. These things weren't even invented yet, and these circuits, the low voltage doorbell circuit, was not meant to power a doorbell like this on a regular basis. So if you don't install this, here's what can happen. I went ahead and installed this camera without installing this jumper wire, and you just get this feedback, this low buzzing sound, and it's just constant. Can you hear that? So I boosted up the audio a little bit. You can hear it, especially if it's just really quiet in the house. You can just hear that buzzing. If you put your ear up to the wall, you can hear it just buzzing throughout the entire wall. And that's not good for the chime. The chime wasn't built for that. So we need to be sure to install the jumper wire. Make sure to turn off the power to the doorbell at the breaker. So all you have to do is locate your chime, just remove the cover. Now inside here, you're most likely gonna see 2 wires. If your house is wired for 3 doorbells, you're either going to connect this jumper wire to the front or the rear, wherever you're installing this. If you're installing this in the front, you jump from the front to the trans, or if you're installing it in the rear, you install from the trans to the rear. So whichever way you are installing your camera, you just connect those 2, and that will complete the circuit to power your device. So it really is that easy. You're just going to loosen up the screws there and then put this piece in and then tighten the screws, and that will complete your circuit to give you constant power. Now, trans stands for transformer, so you're getting power just like any other outlet in your house, right? So you're connecting to a circuit in your breaker box. But in this case, there's a transformer that takes it from that 120 volts down to that 16 to 20 volts or something like that. It's a low voltage circuit. I think it's around 16 volts is what it drops that to. So that's what trans stands for. It's transformer. So that one is going to the transformer for power, and then the other wire is going to the actual doorbell here, and that completes the circuit. So hopefully that's helpful, and hopefully that clears up some of that confusion, because the older videos you actually see a wire with a fuse in it, and that's not what they're using anymore. They're just using this jumper wire. Now they do have additional kits, so if you want your chime to work, so the thing about this is when you install it, your chime is no longer going to work. They do give you that wireless chime that you plug in that will constantly have power, so it'll always work, and then of course you get alerts on your phone. But if you want your original chime inside your house to still work, they have an additional chime controller that you can purchase and install that as well. So I do have a complete video tutorial on how to install this camera if you'd like to check that out next, but I hope that was helpful. If you like DIY around the house, feel free to like and subscribe. My name is Drew. I'll see you in the next one.